Now welcome to last part of this continuation of tutorials under the number system and the conversion of different number systems to the other number systems. So this time we'll be looking at the binary conversion of a number system to a decimal number, hexadecimal number system. So to convert a number from its binary form to hexadecimal equivalent, we basically have to group the bits in fours, starting on your right, and then after that we convert the hexadecimal digits. Now we have an example there, which is this one here. So we are saying that we're going to group them in groups of four, so which means this group will be this one, and then after that we're going to have a second group there. We have one group which will have two numbers, and then we can simply add 2 zeros there to make it a group of 4. Now, after we have done that, which is like this, we are simply going to convert this now to its hexadecimal equivalent. So how we convert this one is basically we're going to multiply this one times a 2 and to the power of its place value. So it will be 1 times 2 raised to the power 0 up to 1 times 2 raised to the power 3. The answer that we get from here, we add them, then we'll get a b, so which means we're getting 11 from here. Now the hexadecimal equivalent of 11 is a b. The same also here, we're going to get a b, when we convert from 11, we know that 11 in hexadecimal is equivalent to a b, to a letter b. And then the last part will just give us a 2. After that, we just combine what we get there, and we're going to have a 2bb in the 16. So a conversion of a binary number to hexadecimal is that simple. So converting of an octal to hexadecimal, we're going to basically use the binary as an intermediary. So which means we have to first take it from octal to binary, and then from binary to hexadecimal. So our example that we're going to use is 10776 base 8, and converting it to base 16, we're going to convert each one of them individual into a binary. So it is in base 8, so we're only talking of numbers ranging from 0 up to 7. So 6 to binary gives us this one, which means we divide by 2 and then keep track of the remainders. 7 also in binary gives us this. When we divide 7 divided by 2, and then we get the quotient also divided by 2, then we keep track of the remainders until we have 0 as a quotient, and that's when we stop. We're going to get something like this. And then the 1, of course, will give us a 1 there. Now, after we have done all this, we simply now convert them now into groups of 4. So the first group is this one. So when we convert this into a hexadecimal form, it gives us an E. So it was getting a 14 from here. And then this one here, when we group it in groups of 4, it will give us a 3. And then the last group, if converted in groups of 4, will give us a 2. After that, we simply write down that answer like this. Okay, now the last part is conversion of an hexadecimal to an octal number system. We're going to use also the binary as the intermediate. It's just basically doing the opposite of what we just previously did. We have a number like this. We're going to convert them in groups of 4. So we're going to convert from hexadecimal to binary, which will give us this one. So a C converted to a binary gives us this. The O gives us the 0, gives us this. The F gives us this. The 1 gives us this. Now after you've done that, we're now going to group them in groups of 3 this time. And then whatever you get, you're going to convert it to its binary equivalent. So 1 0 0 in base 2 is equivalent to 4, and then we've got 1 there. This also equals to 4. Then after that, you basically group everything, and then you get this as our answer. Now this brings us to the end of a number of series of lessons that we've had in the number system conversions. So we have looked at conversions of numbers in different forms, from one form to the other, and maybe sometimes even vice versa. Now, I have with me an exercise which you can go through when you have time, and it's basically filling in the form, the blanks here. We have given this instance where we have been given the decimal, and we need to find the equivalence of this decimal, the binary equivalent, the octal equivalent, and the hexadecimal, and so on and so on. So you will do well to practice this, and then I have the answers with me just here. So here we are, we have our answers here. So these are answers are only there to help us to see where we are missing it or where we've gotten wrong. So thank you so much for spending time into this long tutorial series. And in our next tutorials, we'll be looking at the binary arithmetic. Please do join me as we embark on another journey. Thank you.